So I did believe on Tuesday night that Texas was going to be into the rankings. I know that they're not ranked in the AP, but I thought that they would be ranked by the committee, partially or really almost solely on the back of that performance against Alabama, even in a loss. Plus the fact that they're supposed to take into consideration injuries and timing of injuries. And so, that being the case with their loss at Texas Tech without their starting quarterback, you kind of understand it. All right, so that being said, these two teams could not be coming off of different games. And I'm just going to throw a bit of caution out there for everyone that thinks, well, Kansas State is light years better than Texas because they just shut out Oklahoma State, who just beat Texas. Pump your brakes. And remember, in this sport, and by the way, in life, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. So is Texas as bad as they played against Oklahoma State? In particular, their quarterback, who was awful in one of his first road conference starts of his career? Probably not. Were they as good as shutting out Oklahoma and Red River? Probably not. Same can be said against for Kansas State. Are they the team that lost at home to Tulane? Probably not. Are they a team that is so much better than Oklahoma State that they just shut them out 48-0? Probably not. There's extenuating circumstances in every one of those games. For instance, injuries for Oklahoma really hurt them in the Red River game, in particular at quarterback. Injuries and a lack of depth really hurt Oklahoma State coming off of two emotional games, the emotional win against Texas. They did not play their best. Okay, so you're never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad as you think you are. So these two teams, much more evenly matched than we would expect coming off of their last two outings. Vegas tells us that exact same thing. Fox Bet has Texas favored by 2.5. Couple of thoughts on the game itself. I do not believe Quinn Ewers plays as poorly as he did against Oklahoma State again. The learning curve for a quarterback, and remember, I can remember vividly what it felt like to start for the first time on the road in conference. My first game starting in conference play was at Kansas State in 2003. That was the year that I believe Kansas State went on to upset Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. That was a really good team that Kansas State had. And when I had to start there, and it was just a fog. Like, everything moved 10 times faster. I didn't know. I set formations wrong that I didn't realize I was setting formation wrong. It's a different animal. The next time I got to go start on the road, I was much more under control. And I think the same will be the case for Quinn Ewers. I don't expect him to play as poorly as he did against Oklahoma State. I expect Texas to commit to the run a little bit more and lean on Bijan Robinson, in particular on the road against these Wildcats. I do think it comes down to, though, the questions at quarterback for Kansas State. Who's going to start? Adrian Martinez is banged up. Is it going to be Will Howard, who played really well against Oklahoma State, throwing for 296 yards? And how well can they throw the ball? Because one of the trends this season for Texas is that their defense does not play well on the road. In true road games, so I did not account for Oklahoma and Red River in the neutral site. In true road games, this defense is giving up 39 points per game and 362 yards passing per game. That has to improve. They've got to do a better job against the passing game of Kansas State. Now, I think Will Howard might be the better matchup for the Wildcats because he's a little bit better throwing the ball. When Adrian Martinez is in there, they lean a little bit more on the run game, and in particular, the dual run game with Deuce Vaughn, as well as their quarterback, Adrian Martinez. I'm interested to see who they play there. I really am. I think in the end, though, Texas is more talented. They will learn from their game and their loss against Oklahoma State. They are favored by 2.5. They cover. They win on the road against K-State. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.